Pressure at Paradise. What pressure? Rodgers is on the rebound. He fires back at critics, claiming he has surrendered a 7-point gap to Rangers at the top of the table. And he views the last few months as 6 wins and 2 draws in the Rodgers review. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And Brendan Rodgers thinks there's no panic. He thinks things at Celtic are being blown out of proportion because he claims that in the last 8 games Celtic are unbeaten. Celtic have got 6 wins, 2 draws, and that in actual reality, results aren't going that bad.
And Brendan was even a wee bit extra cheeky as he threw in 2 Scottish Cup victories. One was against Bucky Thistle, where I think anybody could beat them, but Paradise, it's feeling more like Tannadice. They're not feeling like the Celtic, aren't they not? They're feeling more like a shitey version of Celtic, like a shite Buzz Lightyear, Poundland, straight to the Toy Island, Toy Story 2 version of Ange Postecoglou, if you catch my drift. Celtic are mince. I mean, one minute you've got Rodgers blaming that, it's not the fans, it's you media that are giving us a bad name, and then the next he's, the fans are making out it's been 8 losses and 2 draws. Make your fucking mind up, Brenda. It's either you blame the fans and you stick to it, or you don't. You've even got the board coming out today saying, here, we feel the fans' pain that we didn't spend any money.
Well, the other ones that didn't spend it.
Then? No, what's going on at Celtic? There needs to be a bit of transparency here. I think it's fantastic, this meltdown, but what the fuck are the board on about when they're like, we feel the fans' pain?
Yeah, well, I feel Rodgers' pain. Now, he's disguised the recent results as going pretty well. He says it's 8 wins and 2 draws out of the last 10 games, and if you look at it from that perspective, then I'll give him that. It's not bad, but at the same time, it's not as good as Rangers. And it's convenient that he is cutting off the period at 10 games because in the previous 2 games, before that 10, Celtic suffered back-to-back defeats against Kilmarnock and Hearts. So Rodgers is certainly cherry-picking with the results here. Anyone can really pick a time range throughout the season, and I'm sure they could find a good group of results. Is 6 wins and 2 draws in the league abysmal? It is not. But when Rangers are like a juggernaut right now and winning every single game, then the draws are bad results. And it's not just the results, it's the performances as well. Since the back-to-back defeats against Hearts and Kelly, how many games have Celtic actually played well? And I think they've had one good performance in the league. Everything else has been mediocre, especially that win against Rangers 2-1. They may have got the victory that day, but they were not good. So they lost to Kelly and Hearts. They followed it up 23rd of December, a 2-0 win at home against Livy. I mean, it's Livingston, for fuck's sake. They lost every single game, so I can't give them much credit there. Then they went away, beat Dundee at Dens Park 3-0. That game was 0-0 at half-time, and Dundee sort of just exploded in the second half.
It was a big Trevor Carson that night. What a guy.
It was. Trevor Carson gifted them 2 goals, 2 terrible mistakes. Then they beat Celtic 2-1.
Rangers?
They beat Rangers 2-1 in the Old Firm Derby. Enough said about that game, I spoke about it. Then the only performance I think was good was the 3-0 in Paisley. Very difficult place to go. They got 2 goals in the first 6 minutes. When you can do that, you're pretty much sealing the game, in my opinion, as a Celtic or Rangers team. If you can get 2 goals in that early period, you just take all the pressure off. All of a sudden, the team that you're playing against can no longer sit back. It's an open game, and from that point onwards, I can't imagine Celtic or Rangers throwing away a 2-goal lead when you get it that early. And then after that, I mean, it's been dross. It really has been dross. A 1-0 win against Ross County in Glasgow, which they fucking sucked. Easily could have drew that game.
Should have drew it.
Followed by a 1-1 draw in Aberdeen, in Pittodrie, where they probably should have lost that game. Second half, Aberdeen had countless chances to get the winning goal. Then they played Hibernian in Edinburgh. 2-1 win, but we all know what happened that night. 2 penalties, gifted that win there. Hibernian definitely deserved to win. And then their latest game, a 1-1 draw against Kilmarnock in Glasgow. So, I mean, you look at the performances, they haven't been great. Yeah, Celtic have won 6 out of the last 8 in the league, but how many of those games did they actually deserve to win? And it's not like they've been winning them easy. Like I said, sneaking over the line against Hibernian, sneaking over the line against Ross County, sneaking over the line against Rangers, and then like beating the likes of Livingston. That's not really impressive. So Rodgers can cherry pick certain results, but at the end of the day, Celtic have drew 2 games in their last 8, and that's more games than Rangers have drawn. So it's not a good look for Rodgers. He needs to accept that For Celtic, that's not good enough anyway. I mean, if you look at the last, Celtic's last 10 league games, they've only picked up 20 points. That's not league winning form. If you average 2 points a game, the likelihood is you probably will not win the league.
Aye, 2 points ain't going to be good enough in any sort of league to win the league. And as for Celtic, I mean, the third
2
best.
points give you 76. Is 76 going to win you the league?
No, absolutely not.
I think there may have been one season in the last 10 years where 76 would have won you the league.
Not this season,
I think it was the season. I think it was Rodgers'. Was it second season?
Aye, something like that.
First season.
But I think you've got to give Rangers credit though. The performances, yeah, I think you can accept shite performances if you're grinding out results and winning and keeping a gap. But more and more, Rangers are clawed away at this, and it's been coming. We've been saying for months about this Celtic meltdown, and it's fucking glorious.
Yeah, when you look at the last 8 games, 2 wins, 6 wins, 2 draws. It's not like Celtic have been great and you're thinking, well, the games that they drew, they probably should have won. That's not the case. What you're actually thinking is Celtic have been very fortunate to get 6 wins at the last 8.
Yeah. No, but if
in the games that they drew, they could have lost.
If the gap's 7 points, right, and Celtic beat Ross County 1-0 and beat Hibs 2-1, you're probably thinking, that's what champions do. But see the fact the gap was like 2 points.
And Rangers are closing in.
Aye, it's not a case of that's what champions do. It's a case of if we continue to play like this, we cannot win the league.
Fragility is running wild.
It's Celtic Park. And that is for sure, guys. But that's it. Celtic play on Sunday. It's going to be a spicy Saturday. +2 in Glasgow. I'm hearing it could be +5.
I genuinely think if Brendan Rodgers, I don't think he'll be sacked, but I think if he doesn't beat Motherwell, I think majority of the fans will be demanding he's sacked.
Yeah. Like, obviously there's...
I think there's fans that kind of already want him out right now, but there's a difference between saying you want somebody out and actually meaning it. I think if they fall further behind, then they will definitely 100%
obviously the 3 points is all that matters, but if Celtic put in another shite performance and say they get like another 91st minute penalty and they win 1-0, are Celtic fans going to be buzzing? They're probably going to realistically know deep down that this team's no winning the league.
I accept that, but I think the situation they're in right now, you'd take that.
Well, of course,
you would take a shite performance where you win 1-0.
Of course you would.
Because I think there's a real possibility Celtic do not win this game on Sunday.
Yeah. And if you want to see our predictions, guys, check out the SPFL preview show, because you predicted Old Firm dropping 2 doses of points.
I did, aye, but...
so staying a modest +2.
We'll see what happens.
Will it be minus again in Glasgow this season? I'm not too sure. It's going to be above.
Things are heating up.
Things are heating up, guys. Get the gloves off. But until then, peace.